A preliminary report by the Special Investigating Unit has recommended disciplinary action against officials involved in the 431 million rand Gauteng schools sanitising tender. Now, the money was reportedly used to procure cleaning services to disinfect and deep clean schools across the province. Now, it's understood some of the companies aren't even in the cleaning business. Well, in May, the SIU was granted an order to freeze their accounts. Now, SIU spokesperson Kaizer Kganyago unpacks this one for us. Kaizer, a very good afternoon to you, and great to be talking to you. Now,
thank you very much, Notemba.
The preliminary report has unveiled a whole lot of things. Maybe just briefly give us, an idea of what has been unveiled, because we want to know what is this disciplinary action that has been recommended.
Thank you very much. What has happened there is that when we started the investigation, it was on the allegations that the process of procuring those services was not done properly. And we found that it was not done properly. And it was even deeper than that, where companies that were not even registered got the tender. And we also found that some of the people had gotten the tenders just by sending a WhatsApp message to some of the officials in the department, and then they were given those tenders. And because of that, we have now sent a referral to the department to make sure that those officials who were found to be complicit in this particular transaction, who did not follow the procurement processes, who did not follow the SCM processes of the department, are now in a position to be held accountable. And what we have sent to them is not only that part of the reporting, but also we have sent to them the evidence that we have found, so that they can start the process of disciplining them and make sure that they are held to account for the actions that they've made.
You know, Kaizer, we are hearing of this holding officials accountable, and it's either maybe suspension here and whatever the case may be. But as you say, the report has recommended disciplinary action. But what kind of action is this?
Obviously, you must understand that the disciplinary action happens between employer and employee, and each case will be dealt with on the basis of merit. But you will understand that there are examples. Let's take an example with the Department of Health, where we sent a similar kind of referral about the person who was the chief director for SCM, and the lady, I think it was Pino, she was disciplined and she was fired from her job. Therefore, it is not a simple matter where people will just be given a slap on the wrist and so on. And that is one part of what we do. And the second part that we are doing is to recover the money that was lost or was used from all the people that might have benefited, which is the second part that we do. And as you have indicated in the intro, we have already freezed accounts of some of the people, and we'll continue to do that so that ultimately we recover the money. And those that have done criminality, we refer that part to the NPA, and they will be held liable in a criminal sense, where they will end up, some of them, ending up in prison.
This is a preliminary report. What's the next step now, or the next phase of the investigation?
It's obviously preliminary in the sense that it only deals with the issue of disciplinary hearing. You will understand that that falls within a bigger scope of our proclamation, which is R431 of 2020, that deals with PPEs generally in government institutions. And that report will be given, which is the final report, will be given to the president, we're hoping, by the end of this month, so that we are able to say all the investigations that were on our books as at April of 2020, we will be, of 2021, we are able to report to you. And ultimately, we then follow up on the other processes, which is the issues of recovering the monies and the issue of criminality.
I just want to ask you one last question. You know, the SIU is very busy with a lot of different cases. We heard from the Minister of Public Works and Infrastructure, Patricia de Lille, talking about the tribunal saying that the SIU must recoup the monies from those contractors who had this multi-billion rand fence, which was a debacle. Have you recovered this money?
Yes, you will remember that when this process started, we investigated and then we found that it was irregular. We then started a process of applying to the tribunal to recover the money. When the process started, these companies, when they realized that we are onto them, they now put a case against the tribunal, questioning whether the tribunal has got the right to do that to them. They were trying to say that it was formed illegally and all of those things, and that fell apart. Now we are focusing on the merits of the case, and we are in the process, and very soon that money will be recovered, because they had already committed that if they are found to have done something wrong, they will pay back the money, and that part is sorted. It's just to finalize the case, and that money will be recovered and taken back to the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure.
Thanks for your time, as always, Kaizer, for talking to us. And of course, that was the SIU spokesperson, Kaizer Kganyago.